You are looking live at the Nasdaq daily chart, and we saw another bounce today. Off its moving average, the Nasdaq was up 246 points, or 1.54%. You can see the volume was a little below the average daily volume, but it was higher than Monday's volume when the rest of the sellers got through selling. We could see this reversal bar on Friday had average volume, yesterday below average volume. This is very I don't want to say intimidating, but it was a bar that had people nervous. And there was a lot of anxiety here behind this bar. And I think some people even got to me like, oh my God, this is the top. We reversed lower. But I showed you on Saturday the we've seen this bar before here where it makes a high and then closes at the low, makes a high, closes at the low. We've seen it here, makes a high, closes at the low. Some follow through to the downside, but it keeps getting supported at the 21. Since the rally started in October, had the follow through day on November 1. It's been finding support, at these moving averages here and consistently. And I sound like a broken record, but this one sold off. This is the end of December and the beginning of January, which is that, the last 2 weeks of December, first 2 weeks of January, you have some tax implications. So it got a little wonky there, but still, I would call that support at the 21, support at the 21, support at the 21, support at the 21. And here we go again, right? So nice bounce today on the Nasdaq. Like I say, it closed at 265. Did not take out the old high from Friday, which was 449, but give it some time, right? We like a bounce. It was a good day today. I just wanted to go through a couple of things here with I'm going to look at some stocks here. NVIDIA is a stock that I wanted to buy more of. And so I've been talking about this. If you held it, if you bought it, the 500, the breakout here, it's really easy to hold, and suffer through these little pullbacks here, right? On these days I go golfing or hiking or walk my dog or whatever. I don't like to see it go down, but as long as it's being supported by the moving averages, you're fine. And if you bought this stock like at 800 and then it started to pull back yesterday down to 841, you start sweating a little bit but in a bull market, you get away with stuff like that. You can afford to chase, strong stock like that and you can get away with it. In a bear market or a choppy sideways market, you probably wouldn't, but that's how strong this market is. You chase performance, and you're getting rewarded for it because all it did was pull back to its 10. Now bounced higher today. Nice move today, up 7%. Well, it went up to 919 and closed at the high of the session and now powering higher in the after hours. That looks really good. I bought NVIDIA today. I sold my crowd. I sold my Lilly. And because I'm out of the cybersecurity stocks, and there's nothing wrong with the crowd though. If there was one cybersecurity stock I'd want to own, it would be that one. But I wanted to concentrate my portfolio more in NVIDIA and SMCI. And so I used my day trading skills to purchase this. Now you could have just bought it right at pre-market or right out of the gate, right? 882 there. You see the first bar, the high 882, 881, 80. So that was my buy point, right? If it could get above there, that's where I buy. So it traded down below that level, and then it traded down to the low of the session, which was 861.50, and then started powering higher. And then it crossed above that threshold of 882 about 55 minutes into the session. And so I put my market order in, I think it filled about 883 or something. I didn't get the optimal buy. I don't really care. I just wanted to own the stock. So I put in my ad, and then it thankfully just kept powering higher and was really easy hold the rest of the day. And so I added to my NVIDIA, and then I have to show you SMCI. I added to that one today too. This one was a little dicier. I pointed out on MC stock charts that these two were moving higher in pre-market on volume. And I wanted to add to these. So this one made a high of 1131.99. We'll call it 1132, right? 1,132. And then sold off immediately. This bar went down to 1,095. This one retested 1,094, and then it started moving higher. So where's my buy point? 1,132, right? So this bar crossed right above it. And I put in an order, it got filled, I don't know, 11:35 or whatever. And then it traded below it. So, I'm underwater. My new purchase is below my purchase price, panic time. But no, not really. All I do is I look for the lows, right? The lows of the session. And if it crossed below, made a new low below that 1,094, I would sell. And thank God it didn't. It just stopped right there and started gaining momentum and trading higher. So that was an easy hold the rest of the session. And I added to my SMCI and my NVIDIA. So they're both more than 20% of my portfolio now. And that's where I want them to be. And also Novo and ELF are my other two longer term holds, or my larger positions in my portfolio now. Like I said, I sold Lilly and Novo. I'm going to get to them a little bit later. But anyway, I wanted to go through a couple of other stocks here that bounced not quite as sharply as Supermicro and NVIDIA, but AMD pulled back to its 10 and bounced today nicely. It actually traded lower this morning and then reversed higher. And had some people griping to me, oh, and, AMD stinks, it's going lower. I said, sometimes it's just some profit takers, left over from the weekend. Whatever, they didn't get enough selling on a Friday and Monday, so they sold in the morning, but they went down to 194 and then traded back above that 10 EMA. So AMD looks fine to me. Broadcom is one that reported, and if you listen, I got to stop right there. If you listen to the CEOs from all these companies like Oracle, Larry Ellison, and Broadcom, and Dell, and Palantir, and Supermicro, and AMD, and NVIDIA, and IBM, they're all saying the same thing, and I'm sure they're not lying, that the AI spending is showing up now, and it's showing up in their earnings reports. And so I still believe we're in the early innings of an AI ball game, and we're just starting to. The bull market is well underway, and stocks top when their fundamentals look the best, but we're still in the early innings of this AI revolution. And we have the GPU technology conference on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. There's going to be new products announced. There's going to be new contracts. There's going to be new deals. There's going to be all sorts of announcements. Oracle said that they're going to have an announcement with NVIDIA. But so you're going to get a lot of the ends, and hopefully we get some in new high next week during that conference. But anyway, it's exciting times for AI. Broadcom reported last week, said AI spending was above expectations. They guided to 50 billion in revenues, and sometimes around earnings report you get some wonky reaction, but still this one closed right around just a tick below its 21. I would definitely keep my eye on that one. It still looks good to me. ADI, and Analog Devices is a semiconductor manufacturing stock. It's consolidated for a long time. You could see that it has the ability to move. Whenever I think about buying a stock, I always look to see if it's made a move in the past. Does it have the ability to make some big moves? And yeah, 2020 to 2021, it made a big move. And then the bear market hit, and this thing has just been in this just trench for a long time. But maybe if it moves out of it, and you can see the cup with handle on the daily, undercut the 50, rallied back through it. So I like ADI, definitely one to watch. And the last one I'm going to show is Vertiv. This one just pulled back to the 21 and bounced sharply today, nearly 8%. So to me, when you see bounces like that from NVIDIA and Vertiv and SMCI, those are the stronger stocks. They're finding support. And that's what I say, when you have a pullback, you always look to see where your stock is being supported. And definitely VRT was being supported at the 21. I think the algos, when they saw that inflation number this morning, it wasn't as bad as they thought it was. So the futures just jumped, and those stocks just jumped as soon as that data came out. So probably a little bit of program trading. This is MSTR. One of the stronger stocks this year, up another 7% today. It has a digital currency or Bitcoin component to it, but definitely one of the stronger stocks. I did mention Oracle. They said they're going to have an announcement with NVIDIA at the GPU technology conference next week. So maybe Jensen wants to be the one to announce it. I don't know why they wouldn't just say something, but It jumped nearly 12% with over 500% above average daily volume. That is a move not to be ignored, Dan. Definitely watching Oracle, Giga Cloud Technology. This is another one that it just trades crazy. This is one I can't watch, but it did break above the downtrend line here and real steep. This one's a wild stock, trades sharply. So it's not good for my heart, but it did. Oh man, it was up nearly 20% today. So that is a nice bounce off its 21. And then I had AI on our ready list. If you look at the weekly, you can see it's trying to emerge from this stage one base. It's having trouble, but yeah, you have it above the you have the short-term moving averages above the 200, but the 50 is below the 200. So this thing needs to bounce and probably just needs more time. Frog is another one that somebody asked me to look at. I like Frog. It had this big move higher following earnings, and now it's finding support at the 21. Like I said, that's what those pullbacks are good for, to find out where your stocks are being supported, if they're being supported, and where, if they are being supported. CLSK is another one that has a the Bitcoin component. This one really wild trader as well. So it pulled back to the 21. We'll see if it finds support there. IBM is one that I can't believe I took this off my Reddit list this week because I really like this stock. I like the chart form here. This little it gapped with earnings up to 196.90. It had this base, pulled back to support there at the 10, got support, bounced nicely today. That's classic textbook stuff. So I like IBM there. Pull back yesterday to what, 190. Yeah. So that's already, nice move there for IBM. PUBM, Pubmatic. This is one that I like. This is a commercial services advertising stock, but you can see the action here, the cup with the handle finally blasting higher, and now forming this like shelf pattern, pull back to the 10, and now made a new high today. So Pubmatic looks pretty good to me. You can see it's just emerging out of this stage one base. I get to look at the estimates here. Yeah, it's got some double-digit estimates. Not bad. We'll see. I'm going to take a look at that in a minute here once I get to my retail stock. So ONON, big disappointment today. You can see they got the decelerating sales growth, 80, 62, 58, 34. They're going in the wrong direction. This thing is definitely in timeout. Yeah, I bought a little bit, not enough to, impact my account. I just wanted a little skin in the game, and they were definitely disappointing. They talked about that, I hate it when people make excuses or companies make excuses for their failures. They were blaming the dollar, the conversion, currency conversion. But you can see this was set up in a base, the chart looked fantastic. All the Google trends and all of the, data pointed to, strong sales, but they did not deliver. So I had to sell for a loss here, no big deal. But I did want to go to the weekly and just show you the estimates here, because this has got fantastic estimates, and sometimes, you know what, they don't meet their estimates. So shame on them. You're out of here. Goodbye. Adios, muchachos on holdings. Did not affect Deckers. I was looking for some pin action, seeing if these things would pull back, but Deckers had pulled back 2 days in a row down to the 10 and now found support. I like Deckers. It's going into the S&P 500. I like it there at 903. Above there looks good to me. But like I said, they really need to split after they get into the S&P 500. They only have 25 million shares outstanding, so a 4-for-1 split would be perfect. Make it 100 million. SMCI needs a split as well. But anyway, Deckers was not bothered by that weak report. CROX was, but CROX was trading up, when the Nasdaq was pulling back, CROX was still going sideways and actually powering higher. So today it had it stalled a little bit, but still, to me, CROX is emerging from a stage one breakout here at 110. It looks really good to me. Skechers, there's another one. Nah, I like Skechers. I think it's a fairly inexpensive stock. It's got strong sales. It doesn't have the growth that you would like, but I like it above the 50 here. It's trading tight within a base. Anyway, I'm a sucker for shoe stocks. I want to get to ELF, because I talk about You know, when you own stocks, first of all, ELF just broke out of this base and it was beautiful. This thing was, I was really surprised how it moved through 200 and went up to like 220. And I thought, man, this thing's going like a little bit too fast for itself, right? And so it did pull back and went below the 200 level, pulled back to its 21, found support. And that's what I mean. These pullback days are good to find when you're, where are your stocks getting support? I would say Alpha is getting support at the 21, wouldn't you? I think so. Celsius, got to drink some Celsius. I got dry mouth here. Celsius got the 8-week hold rule. I'm not going to get into the criteria. Just know that, it's up more than 20% in a short period of time. I think this thing's going to 100. But you can see the pullback here down to the 10, which was 82 yesterday and 91 today. So that's a heck of a bounce there for Celsius. And that's on my retail stocks. I have to show some of this rally is really broadening out. I mean, you're looking at materials, construction, industrials, utilities, oil and gas, insurance, banks. I mean, just there's a lot of strong stocks here. It's not just AI stocks. And I'm just going to show you some new highs. Marathon Petroleum, a refining stock, making a new high today. SM Energy making a new high. This is a U.S. exploration stock. Speaking of U.S. exploration, Diamondback, this is my favorite one. They just made a purchase in the Permian Basin, just surfing its 10 EMAs, making new highs. Valero, this is a refiner and making new highs, big cup with basis, cup with handle, I should say, breaking out. So these look good. These look, I got to admit, the oil and gas stocks look good. Do I own any? No. And there's Weatherford and there's Tidewater. There's, the field services. There's a lot of different areas and they're looking good. I'm not going to get into all of them today. I do have to point out these insurance stocks. I've had these on my ready list recently, but now it's getting extended here. Gallagher looks fantastic. Arch Capital Group, this one, making, breaking out of this base here. Did it make a new high today? I believe it did. Yeah. So new highs are bullish, right? Nice breakout. I know some people at MC Stock Charts bought this one and Gallagher, and they both look fine. Chubb is another one making highs. This one looks fantastic. And the one that just, says digging around here, Hartford Financial, my goodness. What are they selling, GPUs or what? Anyway, I'm going to move on to the medical groups, Cardinal Health, making new highs. That thing looks fantastic. DVA, this is the kidney dialysis play, making new highs. And then Dexcom, one that will be on our ready list as well as it breaks out of this consolidation. It undercut its 50, rallied back through there and near a buy point. Just fantastic. I did mention the banks. Jefferies looks good, making new highs. Oh, they're always good. Jamie Dimon stock, JP Morgan, and then of course Bank of America making new highs. And who doesn't like it when Bank of America makes new highs? Anyway, what a difference a day makes, right? Yesterday we were seeing the stocks pull back, and today they push higher to new highs. This is ABBV, some of the drug stocks looking good. Novo Nordisk, another one, that I like. They have the Medicare is reviewing their cardiovascular and kidney drug for approval, and that would be great because more patients, would be have access to it at lower price. It makes it more affordable for seniors and people who really need it. Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the world. And Novo, that's not why I sold Lilly and bought Novo. I wanted to own one or the other, and I think Novo with their data has a lead, has an upper hand in this area, but Lilly has a broader pipeline and they have a broader offering. And I think this will be the first stock to $1 trillion, but first drug stock to $1 trillion. And it just recaptured its 21 today. But there's nothing wrong with Lilly. I just wanted to concentrate more of my portfolio in SMCI and NVDA, and that's why I sold it. And I still have a drug stock, so I have a little bit of diversification. Anyway, that's it for me, except for I lied. In honor of the great Steve Jobs, I have one more thing, and that's this AQST. And that right there was some insider buying at AQST. This is the one that is going to have some news here from the FDA here pretty soon. The film with the anaflam that this is flagging nicely after a big move. You can see all the volume coming in after this breakout from this little base here. Comes way up. I'm not going to call this a high tide flag, but in spirit, it really is. And just the volume that's coming in. There's a lot of interest here in this stock. And I'm not trying to convince anybody anything. This is just general information to the public. I'm just online here. This is the SEC form, and it just shows insider buying. Now, this is the management team. They're awarded shares all the time, every year. This is from last week. They got awarded a bunch of shares. These are people who buy just out of pocket their own cash, tax withholding. But option awards are common, and this you've seen a lot of this lately. So the last buy out of pocket was March 10th of 2023. There's a bunch of awards, options awarded. And then so now we have this recent action. They got their options, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new insider buys from management. They already have a ton of shares. If you look at Daniel Barber, the CEO, he bought 37,000 shares Saturday, so I guess last Friday. So when it closed, he bought, he now has over 845,000 shares. I don't know why you need more shares when you have so many shares, but these guys, insiders buy because they think the stock is going higher. Here's Ernest Toth, Senior Vice President, CEO, Financial Officer, CFO here. Big Ernie's buying some shares too, and he has 248,000 shares. So I don't know why you need more, but he bought them for $4.88 just on the market, just like you and me, because it was $4.88 just yesterday or the day before, right? So he's buying them like a retail person. And when you see that much insider buying, they think the stock's going higher. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm not saying buy it, don't buy it. I'm just pointing out that's a lot of insider buying. And anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Like I said, we have a lot of new stocks on our ready list for tonight and tomorrow. Things look good after the bounce. Charts change every day, and that's why we pay attention and stay vigilant and focused, open-minded and flexible, and we never give up. Thank you for watching.